So the women's war game match was a tale of two cities, in my personal opinion. The first half of it, of course, we had botches there, some miscues, some unconvincing chair shots, and it just felt like they were waiting around until everyone showed up so they can do the spots that they wanted to do. Almost like when you're in basketball practice, if everyone's not there yet, you just kind of pass it around and shoot a little bit. And then once the whole team shows up, then you get the practice of plays that you really wanted to practice. And it felt like that's what was going on in the first half. But that did not ruin the match for me. The second half of it was so enjoyable that I made up for all the stuff that I had to talk about in the first half. When all the women got into the ring, it was so entertaining. It was two spots that I genuinely laughed at the screen at. One being when Io Sky did her trash can spot, as she always does, and I have no problem with it. I mean, that's war game tradition right there, okay? She jumps off the top, and then she lands on all the women, takes the trash can up, tries to hype the crowd, and then all of a sudden you see Nia Jax come into the camera frame and knock Io Sky out of the camera frame. I thought that was hilarious. And then when Io Sky picked up the fire extinguisher, sprayed it everywhere. I don't know why she sprayed it everywhere instead of at one person, but she sprayed it everywhere. And then once all of it dissipated, you see Raquel Rodriguez somehow, some way, handcuffed into the rope of the ring, right? And I'm like, how in the world did she accidentally bump into a handcuff, accidentally closing on her wrist and get stuck on there? But then when you look to the right, you see Rhea Ripley just sitting there with this evil, evil smile on her face. And I don't know why, but that was funny because I did not expect that. But outside of that, outside of the comedy, the spots that happened in the second half were fantastic, was fun to watch. Tiffany Stratton coming off the top of the ring, all of that stuff was fantastic. These ladies did a great, great job of kind of, shifting it into a different direction when it comes to this match. Now, the only small critique that I have about this is I felt like the match with all the women involved, with all the storylines that are weaving there, whether it be on opposite brands or on the same brand, I felt like they didn't take the opportunity to really plant seeds into really anything. I know we had that spot where Tiffany Stratton was trying to choose if she wanted to cash in on Nia Jax or cash in on Liv Morgan. But it's just like at this point, we've kind of been through this multiple times where she thinks about cashing in or try to and it doesn't happen. That doesn't really plant any seeds. Nia Jax is already suspicious of her, so it really doesn't do anything. And then with Liv Morgan being pinned by Rhea Ripley, it felt like it was a safe bet. I don't have a problem with it, but I think the ending could have been used for something or someone else. I'm not sure, in order to make it a little bit more interesting. But I guess if that's a safe bet, it makes sense. But it doesn't really add anything to the feud between Rhea and Liv Morgan, except for really extend it. But at this point, what else can you really do here? That's why I really hope that Liv Morgan gets her title match cost by Rhea Ripley at main event. So then you can relinquish this feud of this title and allow the women in the division to have an opportunity with it. And these women can continue the feud as a blood feud. And then they can have their feud keep going into Royal Rumble